Imagine you've just been invited to the most luxurious dinner in all of Europe. Golden chandeliers glow above you. Hundreds of nobles stare silently. Servants place silver plates in front of you. It sounds like a dream until you realize one wrong move, one sneeze, one bite taken at the wrong moment, and you could humiliate yourself in front of the King of France. You might even leave the palace hungry, or worse, never be invited back again. Tonight, we're traveling to the magnificent Palace of Versailles to discover why an ordinary modern person probably wouldn't survive a single royal dinner. So dim the lights, get comfortable, and let's begin. Welcome to Versailles. Picture yourself arriving at the Palace of Versailles in the late 1600s. The palace stretches farther than your eyes can see. Thousands of candles illuminate endless golden halls. The gardens outside seem almost infinite. Everything shines. Everything sparkles. Everything whispers one message: power. This isn't just a palace. It's a stage, and every noble here is an actor. King Louis XIV, known as the Sun King, designed Versailles to remind everyone that he stood at the center of France, just as the sun stands at the center of the sky. Every hallway, every painting, every statue exists to glorify him. But tonight, you aren't here to admire the palace. You're here for dinner, and that's where your problems begin. The invitation was already a test. Getting invited to dine with the king wasn't an honor everyone received. Thousands wanted the invitation. Only a handful earned it. Before entering the dining room, you had to wear exactly the right clothes. Too simple. People would think you were poor. Too flashy. You might offend someone more important. Even your shoes mattered. Your wig mattered. Your posture mattered. If you greeted the wrong noble before greeting the right one, people would remember, because Versailles wasn't built on friendship. It was built on status. Every smile, every bow, every conversation was part of an endless competition, and unfortunately, you don't know the rules. Don't eat yet. Finally, you sit down. The smell of roasted meats fills the room. Fresh bread, rich sauces, delicious pastries. Your stomach growls. Naturally, you reach for your fork. Big mistake. Nobody eats before the king, not even a crumb. If Louis XIV hasn't touched his food, neither do you. Imagine sitting there for 20 minutes, watching your dinner grow cold, simply waiting for one man to lift his spoon. Only then may everyone else begin. Even then, you must eat carefully. Too quickly, you're greedy. Too slowly, you're strange. Too much talking, disrespectful. Too little, suspicious. At Versailles, even chewing had politics. There were no modern manners. Modern dining feels comfortable. Versailles didn't. People often shared cups, shared serving dishes, and hygiene wasn't exactly today's standard. Napkins existed, but washing hands wasn't always common. Perfume filled the air, not because everyone loved flowers, but because many people rarely bathed. Some dishes contained spices worth more than a worker's yearly salary. Exotic fruits traveled for weeks across Europe. Every bite announced wealth, not taste. status. Everyone was watching you. The most uncomfortable part wasn't the food. It was the audience. Royal dinners often attracted spectators. People literally watched the king eat. Imagine hundreds of eyes following every movement. Your posture, your expression, the way you held your glass. Even silence could become gossip. At Versailles, privacy hardly existed. Everything became performance. By the end of the evening, you'd probably be exhausted, not because the meal was difficult, but because surviving it required perfect manners, perfect timing, perfect clothing, and perfect knowledge of rules nobody bothered to explain. Versailles looked like paradise, but beneath its glittering gold, it was one of the most stressful places in Europe. So perhaps the next time you enjoy dinner at home, with comfortable clothes, simple food, and nobody judging every bite, you might be living more luxuriously than many nobles ever did. Thank you for joining this sleepy journey through history. Close your eyes, relax, and I'll see you in the next story. Good night.